Hello and welcome to Finbar Builds Tekkit City Part 2, 3. Why did I say 2? I don't even know. Sorry, it's been so long since I did the last one. It's just been literally like 2 months. So we're just looking over what I've built so far, and oh god, I fucking love this council I made. I love that tower. It's just so fucking good. So yeah, it's been a while because I've just been busy and I got distracted and I had no motivation to do it. But I realised how many views it's got and how many likes and stuff. I realised people really like this, so I'm going to carry on playing it. So we're just panning down to look what I've built so far. The council over there, the epic walls. I think they look really good. Zoomed out, everything looks amazing. And eventually, when you get down to ground level, I'm going to put in a shit ton of detail on the inside of the buildings and stuff. But that comes later because we've got to get power first, and that's today's theme: power. We're building a power plant. So we're panning over to here. You see a little crater there where the whole world is blown up, and we're going to build a amazing power plant to power our entire city. And this is going to be fully functional, so it's going to be filled with machines and shit like that. This is just the first episode of the power plant. There's going to be 2, maybe 3, because there's going to be a lot of shit to put in it. So right now you can see me just laying out the basics, or the base, the foundations for roughly where the power plant's going to go. And it ends up looking really good, I think. So I'm using basalt brick for the mostly for it. And here I'm just putting down green lights. Green, obviously for energy. Green means you've got power. Red doesn't, generally speaking. On in the batteries, you press the little button. You hold your fingers on it to heat up, and you get the little green bar for energy. But yeah, I just like the colour green. And each section of the city, I figured was going to have a different colour anyway. So green for this sort of area with the power plant and the factory, which I'm going to build as well. There you see I just destruction catalyst out the earth because it was pissing me off. So I'm pillaring up. I'm using here obviously the green lamps and infernal brick. I used quite a bit of that as well because it looks good. I wanted the power plant to look really sort of dark, depressing, oppressive, kind of just sucking the life out of the air. This is basically going to be on the scummy side of the city, the slums. I've got to put them all over this side as well. So that is what we're doing here, just pillaring up. And now I'm measuring out what I'm going to do for the front. Now I didn't have like 2x2 doors because it's it's a power plant. You're not going to have 2x2 doors, so I made them. I think it was 6 wide, so that people can get in like big crates of I don't know, uranium and all that other shizzle. And here I'm just sort of trying to figure out how to make it look decent because it takes a bit of trial and error. And I had literally when I did this, I had no plan as to what I was doing. I was just like, right, let's build. I didn't plan it out or anything. And it seems to work for me because I just look at it. If it doesn't look right, I delete it and just redo it and fiddle around with it. So here, get rid of that nether brick, and then I used a good old friend, the vents. I think they're called vents or the filters. Because it just looks so good. The texture on them just looks really good because they're actually partially see-through, so it just makes things look a lot better. And then you can see I'm using reinforced glass as well for some windows. Obviously, in a power plant, you're going to need that. Protect people from the outside, Could be explosions and stuff. Shit goes wrong in power plants sometimes. Hopefully no Chernobyl in our Tekkit City, but no, it could be worse. Right, so I'm sort of trying to make it so that the front isn't flat. Kind of like the council, although the council building was actually fairly flat, but I just used loads of different style of bricks to unflatten it. This actually gets set back more. And I use, what are they again? Fence posts there. And I'm just fiddling around trying to see what works best, really. Putting some more lights in. Also, again, I go with the completely horizontal theme. So I try and keep all the lights completely horizontal because I tried to put them horizontal. When you've got massive vertical lights, it doesn't look right at all. It looks really wrong. So there we go. We're going into the inside now of the face of the building, and I'm just sort of rounding off these pillars. Hope you like the music. I decided to go for a bit different music. Just some of the metal music Rory's made. So I'm just pillaring up here, and oh god, this is a pain in the arse section. Trying to get the fucking top of this to work, look right, was terrible. So that's why it cuts in a minute a few times, because I went off camera trying to fix it up the top. But I'm back now, building all the insides. See, I'm covering the green with panels, or the lighting, so we don't see the red LOY, because it does look pretty bad. I think there's a way you can dye it, someone said, but it just looks better if you panel over it, because then you can't see it at all except from the outside. That's what I'm doing here. And I think I also put a panel over the top of the light, on the top, and it actually makes a really cool effect. So I might have to use that later on in the build for if I want to make some sort of slightly glowing floor panels where the light just slightly seeps out over the panel. It looks really good, I think. So here I'm just sort of texturing up all the inside, filling it out, covering all the crap that doesn't want to be shown. And the inside actually ends up looking really textured. It's quite good. It's not just a flat square room. I mean, I don't like that when people build in Minecraft. They just build big square rooms. It doesn't look very nice. You've got to have layers. You've got to have depth to it. And here I was just duplicating tower on the other side. You can see in the top right is what it was looked like. And I didn't really like the sort of... I don't know. It didn't look right to me, so I got there and deleted it. And I was faffing around, fiddling out. Right, what can I do here? How can I get to work? And then I realised that looks better. Just black. I don't need lights on the top. There's enough lights on those like 2 towers. They're like sort of smoke towers, as it were, to the power plant, where all the toxic fumes get sent up to the top of there and released up into the sky, rather than sort of just being dropped into the ocean. Although we're probably going to pollute the ocean too. So now I'm starting to put the sides of the power plant. So we've got grates again and more basalt brick, and I decided to do a cool pattern with the glass all the way along. You know, just to make it break it up, make it look interesting. I couldn't have a flat wall that's that long because this building is actually surprisingly large. Zoomed out, it's kind of hard to see, but it's like, I think it's 40 blocks long at least, maybe even more. So there's going to be a ton of space in there to put all the actual Tekkit workings. Everything's going to be functioning inside. I'm going to have multiple rooms. We'll talk about that a bit later when we get to actually the inside and building the inside. So, lovely view of the sun rising up. I love that shot. So you can see close down now. I've got like fence posts along the bottom that are floating off, so they're not connected to the ground, and it gives it that cool floating off the surface panelled effect. And now we're just filling in more glass, and there we go. This is the inside, and I wanted to cover up where the grates were, because they have that weird yellowy circle bit on the inside. And first I was just sort of filling in the water, because it's so irritating to build in water. So I was just getting rid of that. I had to fill in the factory floor anyway. I eventually fill it all with basalt. I mean, it looks very... it's hard on the eyes, but I intend to break it up later with rooms, so it won't really matter. It's not just going to be one big open floor. Now I'm messing around with lights, because obviously it's going to get dark. I mean, it's such a huge space. And I realised sort of one lamp under each pillar isn't really going to work very well, so I decided to get 2 pillars of lights, but then I realised, oh no, you can't put red alloy wire one next to the other, so I had to do it differently and just use one in the end, I think. Yeah, here we go. Just pillaring up with one, there we go. And again, I'm just putting all the red alloy in it. And I think it looks pretty good. I like the colour. The green really works really well, I think. I don't know, it just looks so good at night. So here I'm just digging out the floor. And I'll shut up for a minute while you watch me dig. Well, actually no, because it's a bit boring. It's cool music though. So yeah, this building is actually massive. I mean, you'll be able to see it from a long way away. Just getting rid of all the dirt, and I'll put more basalt down. And then you see further and further away, the sort of the pixels of it just get sort of shredded on the screen, and it kind of hurts your eyes a little bit. But where each of these green columns are, I intend to like put a wall to break it up, if that makes sense. So there's going to be, each section's going to have its different power source. So I can't remember the exact, like all of the different power sources, but I know I need a nuclear reactor chamber. I might put that under it actually. I need just some standard coal generator. Basically, I'm going to use every form of power there is in Tekkit to make it so I've got really complicated, and that means next episode I can build them all up for you and show them off. So I'll do the standard time-lapsey build thing, and then I'll go in and actually manually show you what I've done in first-person view, so you get a bit of a different perspective. So you can see the nice insides of the buildings, how it is like ground level, not panned out. Especially as it's going to be room-to-room basis. So as you can see, you can kind of get a scale. It is big, like really big. I could have made it bigger, but I mean that's going to be plenty of space in that for what I need it for. So considering there's also going to be a hyper factory next door to it, but that'll be another episode. Don't worry about that. But we need the power before we can make the hyper factory, and that is going to produce just so many materials. It's going to be awesome. I'm just mimicking the wall that was on the other side now, like so. There we go. Look at that. Oh, the screen glitched out a bit. Okay, so and now we're obviously mimicking the green lights on the inside as well. I may get some floor strip lighting or something as well, because it did get a little bit dark in the centre because the light couldn't travel far enough because of the way the lighting physics in this game work. but it's coming along nicely now. The front looks pretty good, I think, from this angle. And here we go, we go to the roof. Now I was quite happy with how I did the roof, because I could have just gone, yeah, let's just do a flat roof, I can't be bothered, but I just had to break up with different glass, different heights, so it's not just flat the whole way. It's like, you got that top ridge, and then you got sort of drop down a level, and then it ridges back up again, so I'm just putting some more reinforced glass down here. Oh, God, the green does look so good from this angle, especially as it gets darker. It looks like proper uranium cores just glowing in the darkness. So now I'm putting infernal brick back in again. I have no idea how you make that in the game, but screw it, I can just find it. So I'm just changing the colour of the fence posts on this now, so that they stand out. So I'm using grey fence posts and using more of the infernal brick, because you can imagine if the top was also all basalt cobble, then it'd look a bit, you know, rough. And here you go from the top, the other angle. As you can see how it's sort of, it makes a weird contorted effect when you look at it from up here at the bottom of the screen. It's sort of like warped, like how a magnet is when you put iron filings on it. That's kind of what it looks like, actually. But it gets broken up a lot more when I finish the roof up. So I'm just counting it out, measuring it out exactly so it's the same each side. And by some miracle, I didn't actually measure the factory out to be this, but it fits perfectly. So I can't complain. There was a bit of luck on my part where I didn't have to adjust too much. It just seemed to fit the length of the building. So, and that's the roof pretty much finished. So I come down to the back, and now at the back there's going to be like a sort of a port sort of area where we can import all kinds of goodies from across the lands. We can import coal that we need. Although, I mean, well, from the apocalyptic wasteland anyway. I mean, what's left of it. And it's just sort of an outhouse area, or we can just dump stuff off the end of it, to be honest, into the water. That's another use for it can be. Just send trucks into there and just tell them to dump it off the edge. Or to import stuff, maybe even from other parts of the city. You know, our city might be spreading, civilization might just be getting back on its feet. So here we go, the lights are coming on. This was kind of a pain to do because the water kept flowing inside and knocking off the levers, but it's not a problem. Fixed that. Now started building up the front. And again, I didn't want it to be totally flat. It's nothing like the front. It doesn't look the same, but overall, I didn't think it went too badly. I experimented a little bit with black lights in a second, but they seem kind of pointless to me. I mean, they don't even produce any light as far as I can see, and they didn't shine through the metal grill, so I got rid of them. Well, I got rid of one column and I forgot to get rid of the other. You will see it as will fly in, but I mean, it's not a problem. It's just easy to remove that later on. So here we go, more reinforced glass. I'm doing a nice pattern with it, so it's not just so generic squarey. Oh god, I hate people who just make people stuff square. And see the top, it was looking a bit flat and boxy, so I go and level out, like round out the corners a bit to make it sort of look more inviting, and do the same at the top. And it does make quite a bit of difference. And I think then we're finished and we get to see a panning shot of the whole thing, and it is pretty epic. Okay, so here we are at the factory. And look at it, it looks pretty amazing. So we're just swooping in now. Those big pillars, like standing out like massive. God, it looks like it's almost got a face. So you can see sort of the texturedness of the front. It looks pretty good, I think. Big open wide like entrance hallway. And we're going to pan over the roof just to see what it looks like overall. And you can see sort of the effect of the glass, how it actually breaks up quite a lot. It doesn't even look like a roof. It looks really good, I think. The missing blocks, just ignore them. I forgot to fill some in as I was speeding through it, but that's easily fixed. And then we go down to the inside. Well, from the back, anyway. So from the top, you can see how I sort of leveled it off a bit. I could probably do that a little bit more to make it a little bit better, but I mean, I didn't think I did too bad a job, considering this took me 3 hours to make this entire structure. So yeah, it was pretty epic. So we're just panning inside, and you can see there is plenty of space to do all kinds of builds and machinery in here, which I'll get to for next episode. So we're just heading across the top again now, looking at the roof, slowly going through the inside. So it's just an empty shell for now, but that's just for now. So let's just wait for it to turn around, and we can go down to ground level and have a look at it. Oh god, look at how big it looks like from a human perspective. It is massive. So please like and favourite this video, because it took me, god, ages to make. And come back for the next part where I'm going to fill this massive building out of awesomeness. You don't want to miss it.